You won't be able to see my face too well during this because I'm going to be painting the Warhammer minis. But yeah, we're back. Felicia's grabbing me all the stuff to paint. Let me see if it's actually if we're live and it's working the way it's supposed to. Looks like it might be. No, it says it is, but give it a second.
Here, open some stuff.
First, to the paints. I got this whole modeling color set. So let's see. Looks like we're live. There we go. Okay, we're live. Alright, so this is the Joy of Painting Warhammer. Now, the great thing about me choosing it being the Joy of Painting is because Bob Ross was always big on having happy little mistakes. And here's the thing. I'm going to have a lot of happy little mistakes because, one, I'm pretty still heavy on muscle relaxers and painkillers. For those of you who don't know, I had hip surgery Wednesday. You don't have to keep fiddling with it, Felicia. You're going to make it worse.
There.
So I had hip surgery. You guys get a good view of my fat hands and bruises. I had hip surgery Wednesday, so still pretty hopped up on some painkillers. And so it should be interesting. So getting out all these paints. I will probably not use hardly any of these because I'm painting Space Marines, which, Ultramarines, very blue. And Felicia, if you could get me the brushes, the mini, and the box so that we can go through what I'm painting. And I've got the chat up. But yeah, we finally got this working. Again, this is my first time actually painting this type of mini. I put them together yesterday. Felicia primed them for me this morning. And we're going to be painting Calgar, Lord Calgar of the Ultramarines for Warhammer 40k. I was never interested in getting into 40k, but I knew I was going to be kind of bedridden a little bit. And that I was also going to be... There's a couple of packs here. I was going to be kind of bedridden for a bit. And then I was also going... I had been playing Space Marine 2 a lot, and I kind of got obsessed with some of the characters. So I ordered Lord Calgar to start with in his honor guard. So I'll be painting Lord Calgar first. If I can get this damn pack of paintbrush. Yes, Felicia, you are assistant. Felicia is my lovely assistant.
I think that's one of the reasons why the camera is moving like crazy. Is we're both fiddling around trying to...
The shaky cam.
Yeah.
Ooh. Again, I'm used to streaming from my computer, so I'm used to being a little more professional. This is just my cell phone clipped to a crappy stand that we bought. So I can stay on the couch. So I think I need some waters for these also. Maybe a little brush cleaner cup.
Here's some...
Got my brushes.
Did you have another pack or no?
No, I do, but this is good enough.
Okay.
Brush cleaner cup, mini, and what I'm going to be painting. And welcome the one person currently on chat. Once I have everything set up a little bit better, I'll have Felicia promote this on all the socials, so there'll be more than one person. But feel free to start saying stuff in the chat. I think we're connected to the live chat on the TV.
Should be.
Either way, Felicia will be monitoring. I'm thinking, going through these paints, what Lord Calgar's armor would be. And really, I think it's going to be this blue specifically. The flat, well, there's a flat blue. And then there's whatever freaking blue this is. This is azure. Ooh, that's like a fancy word for blue. So a couple reasons I don't normally paint stuff. I do not have a very good steady hand, even normally. I'll keep the water over here for the for washing the brushes. Just the mini in the box.
Yep.
I don't have a very steady hand. I'm even a little bit colorblind. So I'm kind of the last person who should be trusted, on top of me being, you know, kind of high on painkillers from surgery. I'm probably the last person who should be trusted to be painting Warhammer minis. Especially these miniatures are expensive, but fuck it, we're doing it live. We're just gonna figure it out. I'm gonna start with a bigger brush too. The box, I had you put it up there, and then there's the map.
Oh, there it is.
The Calgar mini is what I want to start with.
Yeah.
So first, I'm just gonna get some blue, some happy little blue. Let me go ahead and show off. This is the beautiful Lord Calgar. Isn't he a gorgeous mini? You can see him. He's got like freaking giant fist, machine guns, big old cape. So that's really what we're going to be painting today. And then you can see the box what he's supposed to look like. And it's gonna be a Homer Simpson moment of why doesn't mine look like that? Don't want to use too much of this blue, just squirting a little there. And I'll need the box, Felicia, to kind of keep an eye on what he's supposed to look like. Yeah, it's mostly blue.
This is driving me nuts. Like, why is this?
It's
like
fine, Felicia.
No, it's not.
It's fine that it's shaky. It's all just happy little shakes. And let's see what color his cape is. His cape's more of a white. Oh, a red and a white. Okay. Go ahead and get some red out to do the cape too. Might actually start with his cape. Well, that's gonna be kind of a hassle. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna use a smaller brush than this though. I'm looking at him like, nah, this brush is gigantic even for his full over armor. So let's don't move it around too much, Felicia. Stop messing with it.
No.
Keep messing with it. Let's see, this one looks like a pretty decent brush to start really doing his armor. You can barely see anything now, Felicia. There. People need to be able to see me. They're my fans. My 200 subscribers.
Woo!
Alright, get a little bit of blue. Put a little water down. Blend with the blue. Don't overly do it from what everyone said with the amount of paint on the brush. We'll go ahead and get started. You might want to pull the camera closer to me because they can't actually see what I'm painting.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus. And this is why I didn't even want to use the stand originally.
All right. Well, what would we have used?
I would have just propped the phone up next to me.
Oh, well, whatever. I'm not moving anything anymore.
He's not doing well. You keep messing with it, and now we can't even see anything, Felicia. Chat, this is what it's like to see kind of the bacon get made, as they call it. All right. I don't want the paint to dry while I'm doing it, but I need to kind of keep referencing the box. Yeah, all of his armor's pretty much blue.
That's good. Just move it up more.
Is his hands too blue also? Yeah, that's all blue, so let's get this shit started. Can they even see me? They can't.
Well,
they can't even see me.
It's a little behind.
No, like they can't see. Like you need to move the camera forward a bit.
Yeah, see?
I'm telling, because I keep putting it in there.
Oh.
That's a little better, yeah. Jesus. I'm gonna end up breaking my phone and having it fall in the paint.
Sorry.
I'm legit worried about you doing that.
Sorry.
Right, now we're painting. His gun is definitely not supposed to be blue, so I'll have to come back over that with other colors. It's going to be a little messy at first before I do the detailing. For now, we're just going to get all of the armor blue. Including his little jetpacks here. It's all just happy little blue. Happy, happy blue. And you know what Bob Ross says about mistakes? It's your own damn fault and you really shouldn't have made them. That's what he said, right?
Sure.
Bob Ross hated people who made mistakes.
I'm really trying to get this
I know, Felicia, and you're going to get it like right in the paint.
I know. Sorry. I've never done this before, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. We'll see how well I do actually painting this. Getting in on the nooks and crannies and stuff. And again, I'm just gonna come back over everything with the proper colors with a smaller brush later. It's weird. Some people suggested painting every single piece individually before gluing it together, but the actual Warhammer like sites and stuff said not to do that because it's harder to get it to stick together when you do that. But we'll see. You guys can see I don't have a very steady hand. I'm not very good at this. Oh, now we can kind of see really well. I actually like it like that.
We're adjusting.
Hello, everyone.
We're adjusting. We're adjusting. This is our
You
first
want to
time.
go ahead and promote it a bit?
Yeah. I can see how the sausage is made.
Oh, and I already got blue paint like right on Calgar's head. That's not good. Now he's got blue hair. I'll have to paint over that.
And here we see Trevor's painkillers. No, I'm joking.
God, probably.
I'm joking. I'm done. This is Trevor's pee. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, that's not a lemonade iced tea. That's just urine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's much better.
Oh yeah. Just painting a car for Mo. La 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 la. Insurance fraud today.
Yeah.
What color is this gun? That's not blue, is it? No, those are more like metallic. I'll have to come back over them with like a metallic color after I'm done with the overall armor and letting it dry a bit. Kind of doing a coat of blue on almost everything, and then I'll come back through to detail with, you know, the weapons and everything, his little badges and all that stuff, and definitely his head. I'll probably need a toothpick for his head. Now, for those of you who don't know me in terms of artistic skill, so I mean, I did a lot of like theater and choir and stuff, so I was good at that kind of stuff, but when it comes to anything that requires hand control, so whether that be painting, drawing, basic handwriting, I've always said that I have the handwriting of a child, like a 2-year-old child, that has had both of his hands broken. And on top of that, I am currently on muscle relaxers and narcotics for hip surgery.
How many narcotics are you on, Trev?
2 different narcotics, 2 different regular painkillers, and a muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's fun. It makes me more Bob Ross-like. So I'm pretty sure Bob Ross was always on heavy narcotics.
I don't think that's true.
It's the only way that he could have been as calm as he was.
I don't think that's true.
While doing the most stressful job ever, which is painting trees in the basement of the Ball State TCOM building. But his hair. Chaos brewing in his soul. Yes, Bob Ross had chaos brewing in his soul. All joking aside, I should have probably done like more Chaos Marines, even though I prefer Calgar. I've just heard that the mistakes don't look as bad on other factions, whereas Marines, people know. But you know, like, what I was kind of thinking, with Bob Ross always said, you know, the mistakes, you can just cover them up with like happy little trees. Well, with the mistakes on these, it's just happy little battle damage, we could say.
Yeah.
Happy little hearsay. And Felicia, can you just post this on the
I am.
Discord and the social media, so other people can make fun of how bad I am at painting. And when I finally field this army, I'm really good at miniature games. I've not played Warhammer, but I'm good at miniature games, so it'll be great kind of coming in with like a really poorly painted army, and people will be like, "Who's this jackass?" And then like 5 minutes later, I'll completely destroy their army. Rob can attest when we got into Armada how insane that I got at it very quickly. It's the years of D&D and Risk and Magic the Gathering. You get really good at strategy games. No eye-hand coordination, though. Just was never blessed with that. I think I've got most of the blue already. Just need the finishing touches on the blue. Let me see what his little cape looks like. The little cape's more like brown and gold. Some of these details are going to be a little interesting to paint, honestly. I'll definitely have to let the blue dry a little bit before I do some of it. This little pod here is blue. Let me get a different brush for that. A nice thin brush.
Happy little brush.
A happy little brush. And cover up all of your mistakes.
You know what I think you could use, Trev? I think you can use some of that primer paint. You should huff some of it. It'll make you better at painting.
It probably would make me better at painting. We here at Retro Cheese Review do not condone huffing paint, though.
We don't.
We don't. We here at Retro Cheese Review condone just having poorly painted miniatures to piss off the people that you're playing against. They're like, look at this idiot. He did not paint his miniatures correctly. And then me immediately just laughing as I destroy them with my poorly painted miniatures. Although I've pretty much decided to order things that are cool instead of minis that are effective. So we'll see how that strategy plays out. Okay. Well, I've got a good coat of blue on him. Let me just see if there's any missing touches or anything. Don't really think that there is. So I think I just need to let this dry for a second and clean these brushes a bit. Could you give me a paper towel, Felicia?
Here.
Napkin, that works just the same.
I'm too lazy to get up.
Some napkins from probably like Burger King earlier or Culver's. One of the unhealthy foods that we've eaten the last few days. Alright, clean that brush a little bit. Now I've been told that brush maintenance is important, but you know what's more important? Me not caring. Just run it through some water and run it on a napkin until it's clean. And I'll have to let this dry for a little bit. Is there anyone in the live chat? Alright, bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out now. It's a good quote, Ryan.
And for those who don't know, Ryan was actually our last guest on Retro Cheese Review. So if you're interested in seeing that, go to the last episode. It was Angels in the Outfield. It was a really fun episode to edit.
So definitely a fun episode. Ryan was fun talking to.
Artists I know get called brush mommies and daddies, so there. Eee.
These are taking forever to clean. Oh well.
Do you want me to clean your brushes?
And I probably wasted way more blue than I needed, but again, this is first time. This is good enough. It'll dry into a nice partial blue.
I like methane in good small doses.
It's always good in small doses. Oh wait, I like having you around, Ryan. At some point, Felicia, I'm gonna accidentally pick this water up to drink it.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I don't know. No, I'm gonna. You know what? While I'm waiting for the blue to dry, how should I paint the base? What color? Some like green or something. Make it look
what
like
what
grass.
does the base look like on the box?
On the box, some people over fancy the bases. It looks like it's like they put in fake grass, which I'm not gonna do, and then it's kind of a gold base around it. I think I might just paint some grass on there. I'm gonna do, you know what? I'm gonna mix a little bit of green with a little bit of yellow and a little bit of black together and see what that looks like. See if I can give it like a, I don't know, like a dying charred grass look. A little bit of green. And that's a thick green. A little bit of yellow. Just realized I should be shaking these probably.
You want to shake it?
Oh no, I got it.
Camera's moving. Ah.
A little green, yellow.
Ryan says, mix black and white and gray for the ashes of the fallen.
That's not a bad idea.
That's
I don't know. I've already committed to dyeing grass. We'll see how it looks. It'll probably look terrible, but you know, maybe eventually I'll just buy some like Christmas tinsel and put it there. Then it'll be shiny grass. This one did come with a. You're funny.
You're extremely funny.
You're a funny guy. What am I, like Rita Rudna funny?
No, I did not make you any, like, I didn't make you any funnier. You're funny just the way you are. No,
Some of these brushes are very large for miniatures. I had 2 packs of brushes, but I think it was just a double of every size.
Oh, was it?
From what it looked like, yeah. I'd rather take my time with a smaller brush than, you know, get this wet to make it kind of thin. Thin it around. Yellow, green, and black. Then we can start to paint the base a little bit. Yeah, this isn't too bad. Not as much yellow as I was hoping, but it looks like kind of a dark grass. Like almost like mossy looking. And if you don't notice, there's actually the head of a, probably can't see too well here, but there's a head of a tyrannid that he's kind of supposed to be standing on. Around that. Just realized there's some blue on his boot that I missed, so I'll come back and get that in a second. I'll go ahead and, because it's bothering me, I'll get the blue on the other side of his boot that I missed. There we go. I'll go on this one. Here. Okay. Getting the blue in here. This won't look perfect, but we're not going for perfect. We're going for passable. Okay, continue with the green a little bit. Green, yellow, black mixture. And I'll come back through with a smaller brush to kind of get the details in a little bit. Yeah, it's a slightly different texture than I had with the initial. I got more green and more black the first time, and second dip I'm getting more yellow. It's fine. I want it to look like almost like dead foliage. Foliage. What would you call it, Felicia? Foliage or foliage?
Foliage.
Kind of blend it. Different textures of like green and black and all that here. Get the outside a little bit. Blend this. Underneath the model a bit. mouth of the Tyrannid. Continue moving it around. A bit more. Probably use way more paint than I should.
Apparently, Ryan's oldest says hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Ryan's oldest child. Ryan, can you remind me, do you do Warhammer at all?
Waiting on a response.
Oh, the chat's
I
gone.
do not, but I have friends that play.
I know a lot of people who play, but yeah, this is my first time painting them. I've demoed Warhammer a bit at Gen Con. The mini games that I've played, out of laziness, I always get the ones that are pre-assembled and pre-painted. Even the assembly of this thing was like a Lego kit. Okay, I think I've got... I'll hold it to the light and see. Yeah, I think I've got the base pretty well painted. I've got an idea for this Tyrannid head that looks severed. What I might do with that, I'm going to let this dry for a second. Get the paint off of my hands a bit too. Watch you.
Thank you.
What I might do for that is I might have it kind of have some blood coming out of its mouth.
Oh my goodness, I'm a sneezing fit. Oh, Ryan says, I'm thinking about trying to open a gaming and hobby shop. I'd want to do stuff like 40K nights to paint or to play and have open tables. That'd actually be awesome.
40K is a good one to get into. It's nice and popular. So this Tyrannid, I'm going to make him purple. This Tyrannid head. Mix the purple with a little water, kind of dab, and carefully pick up and start painting it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That is the fun thing of the little Tyrannid head, is I can make it kind of a sillier color. I'm going to come by after I paint this one and paint some red on each side of the Tyrannid to make it look like the severed head a little bit better. There we go. I'll let that coat of purple kind of dry before I try to do any detailing on the Tyrannid head. That is one thing of making this kind of a little bit of a, I guess, a boring, not even boring, just a more relaxed stream, is there's going to be a little bit of waiting between each painting thing to let things dry a bit. Trying to think, yellow, you think, for a little bit of detail on a Tyrannid?
Do you have any gold? Like
I
any
do have
like
kinda
gold
gold.
specifically?
I have yellow ochre, which is kind of similar. I have a Marin mate? What the hell is that? Ooh, there's this, like, orangey stuff. That's flesh color. I'll do a little green. Actually, no, I already got the green base. Maybe a little bit of black detail on him. Or... it's a refractory green. It's a tough call what I want the details to be. Can you actually grab me a toothpick, Felicia?
Sure.
I'm just going with a little yellow. Just a little dot of it. Just to kind of toothpick some detail on there. In fact, just a couple of toothpicks.
Yep.
Looks like we've got 3 viewers.
Woo!
Say hi, viewers, if you're someone who I haven't talked to or whatever. Alright, we're going to go into this, not as dry as I probably should let it get, but somewhat dry Tyranid head. And do a little bit of detailing. A little bit of, like, his teeth. A little yellow here. Maybe his eye. There we go. That did not hold. I'm just doing some yellow dots with the toothpick. There we go. I'm just giving him a few yellow dots. Around his head. There we go. Blend it. And there we go. And now, with a tiny, tiny brush, and put a little bit of red like he's been bleeding. Just a little bit though. No need to go crazy. And get that dark on there. Just a little bit around the mouth. And around where the head would have severed. There we go. Kind of drip it down. There we go. Okay, that I like. Most people aren't going to think this is as cool as I do, but once this dries, I think this will look cool. The little Tyranid head here, if you can see. I put a little blood around the base, kind of dribbling off the severed head. Okay, moving on. The next part would be the structure that he's standing on, which would be kind of a gray. Mix a little bit of black and white for that. Just a dash of it. Just a dash. See, I have a silver here that I could have used, but I'm going to hold off on that. I'll use just a mix of black and white to get the desired gray for that step that he's on. Glad I bought lots of paints, because I'm going through more than I thought I would be. The nice thin brush. Not quite the gray I was looking for. Need to put a little more white, I think. Black kind of overtakes it. That's what I was looking for. Thin this out a little bit. Okay. Detailing, kind of speckle it. Pot, and then the green here for the side of it. And a little green up on there. There we go. So it looks like the step has a little bit of like moss growing on it too. Perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. Blend that a bit. Perfect. Now wash these brushes. Next, I think it's dried enough that I can probably start working on his little upper banner thing here. A little white for the U and then gold around. Maybe start working on some of the gold detailing. Actually, I'm going to start doing the gold detailing. I think I have a gold color here. Maybe look for something that's closer to gold. Is yellow ochre kind of close to gold, Felicia?
What's that?
This one kind of a close to gold?
I would say so. That's probably the closest.
It's not really shiny, but yeah, I think it's close enough.
Yeah. You might consider the next time you might buy paints, or if you're considering adding to it, add like, I guess, a few shinier options.
I'm gonna put a little bit of silver in with the yellow ochre to kind of make it a little shinier.
I would probably put it in a separate little container and maybe like
Test.
not really test, but like cover the gold parts in gold, and then maybe use a dry brush to kind of very lightly highlight it, if that makes sense.
For now, I'll just use the gold. I don't want to overcomplicate it for myself. Okay, let me see which parts are gold. It's that, and then the eagles, and then the shoulder pads, and then his chest. There's a lot of gold. Hold it a little more steady.
Do you hear the cats?
Yes.
So one thing that we like to do is lock up the cats in our office because they don't know how to behave when we're working on more grandiose projects that involve smaller pieces.
They don't like being locked in the office, but everything that they need is in there.
Yes, litter box.
Otherwise, they would be
food,
trying
water.
to chew on the miniatures right now, because they're idiots. They're not smart cats. I think they have pica. Want to eat everything. Put it down here. Scrape off that little bit of yellow that fell. There we go. it doesn't look too bad. There we go. And then his shoulder pads are kind of gold, and the little eagles jutting out are gold. A little bit more gold here. Kind of trying to get into this nook and cranny here. There we go. Definitely overdid it a little bit over here, so I need to pick the toothpick, fix it a little bit.
If you heard that thud, they're thrashing against the door.
Yes, they want out. Apparently locking them in there is cat abuse.
Yeah, we torture them. Lots of treats, lots of cuddles, but locking them in there for like an hour is evil.
So, anyone in the chat, have you actually played the new Space Marine 2? If you have, and you've played through this, spoiler alert, this character, I think he's in a lot of the novels and stuff too, but he's a major part of Space Marine 2, and it's the reason I bought this miniature. First is because he is an absolute badass in the video game. This is Lord Calgar. Almost sounds like a dish detergent. I get that, Ryan. It is an expensive hobby. I was talking to some people online, but with my health stuff, with the hips and stuff, I'm currently unable to do kickboxing and and I just painted the table a little bit. There we go.
That's fine. You could use nail polish remover to get it off.
I am currently unable to do kickboxing or golf. You were disappointed by Baldur's Gate 3? What?
Baldur's
Okay, have you gotten through Act 1? Act 1's a little bit slow, admittedly. You have to have Karlach as a companion and Shart.
Or Shadowheart.
No, her name is Shart. You have to have Karlach as a companion. You have to get through Act 1. It's worth it. Act 1's a little slow, I'll admit that.
I don't think
but
I never thought it was slow.
I think it's a little slow. But once you're through Act 1, it's so rewarding. It's such a good game. Act 2 and Act 3, I would rank, in terms of RPGs, I would rank this just right behind, like, Chrono Trigger and Knights of the Old Republic. Kar and Shart, yeah, you gotta call... Karlach was the reason that my character, I kept changing. I wanted to be evil, and I kept... It's a high bar, but I think, like, the story is so good and the music's so good. And for those that know me, the greatest video game of all time is Chrono Trigger, and it's not even like a competition. That's my opinion, but it's also a fact. I wouldn't call it at that level, but it's pretty damn good. Like, it's an up there one for me. Yeah, this definitely isn't as gold as I was hoping it would be, but this paint, but it's fine. It's a happy little gold armor.
I think the problem with both, I don't even know if I necessarily call it a problem. I think sometimes people like to kind of go through a game relatively quick, and honestly, like, it took me about 3 months to get through Baldur's Gate 3. Um, Probably because I was playing about like 2 to 3 hours a night. You know, obviously you have other obligations, so it can be difficult to get through it relatively quick or just kind of like get past the story. But I don't know, I was addicted the entire time.
What class were you playing, Ryan, if you don't mind me asking? Because I tried to play as a wizard my first playthrough and was just not having it, even though I love wizards. But with 5th edition, it's a little different.
I played it solo with others, and neither play style worked for me.
For me,
That's okay.
playing, I mean, it's okay that even really good games, you don't have to like them. There's a lot of games out there that people love that never did it for me. It's well known amongst a lot of my friends that I personally, as much as I love JRPGs and I love things from the old Squaresoft, you know, and this comes to a surprise to some people and people like to argue with me. I absolutely could not stand Final Fantasy VII. I was not a fan of Final Fantasy VII. It never did it for me. Nothing about it for me was good. But I recognize that other people love it. So it's fine for you not to like it. Just, you know, I personally loved it. We all have those popular video games that we don't like. I had trouble getting into Tears of the Kingdom. I loved Breath of the Wild, but I just could not get into Tears of the Kingdom. It was almost like they added too much to where it took away from it being a Zelda game for me. What did it not do for you? What, Final Fantasy VII? It dragged.
I liked it.
It dragged on. I don't know. I like a long RPG, but for me, at least at the age that I played it, I had just come off of like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy IV, and it just wasn't at their level in terms of the story. Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger had set the bar too high for me, that there was no way that any other, and people were saying it was the greatest RPG of all time, Final Fantasy VII, when it came out, and I think most of those people, where did you stop? So I forced myself to keep playing even though I didn't like it up until I got through the first disc, and the copy that my brother had, the second disc was scratched and it was unplayable, and that's when I'm like, well, that's a sign I shouldn't keep playing it. So I'll fully admit I used the first disc being broken as an excuse to stop playing it. Or the second disc, I mean. I've probably played almost every JRPG ever made, but that's just one I've not played all the way through. It always surprises people because it's such a well-loved RPG. I've looked into the remake, but I just haven't had a chance to play it. I've thought about it.
I mean, I enjoyed the game. I wouldn't call it like my favorite, but I did enjoy Final Fantasy VII. I thought it was an excellent game.
I've thought about giving the remake another chance. But I've been so busy with other video games lately. Currently, I've been playing a lot of Space Marine 2. I played a lot of Helldivers when it came out. I've been playing a lot of little silly games with friends. Like Lockdown Protocol, Content Warning, those types of games.
I can totally understand that, Ryan. Basically, Ryan said 7 is very special to me because it was the last thing my mama got me before she passed from cancer. I'm kind of biased. Yeah,
I completely get that, Ryan.
Absolutely. I mean, well, even in general, I mean, I like I said, I thought it was a great game as a whole. It was a very solid, excellent story. I think Trev. I mean, I think you should play it again, but I think part of it is I think a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, it's the greatest game ever," and honestly, I think it warrants. You know, like yeah, it's definitely up there, but I mean, Chrono Trigger still holds a place in my heart.
Chrono Trigger is the greatest video. It is the only perfect video game to ever come out, in my opinion. There might be some bias there, but that's just all how I've kind of always felt about it. Is that Chrono Trigger is the first and only perfect video game.
Oh, FF7 is and FF6 is really good too, Ryan.
Yeah,
Agree with
FF6
you.
is good. Let's see. There's a little bit of white detailing here, and on his knee. Ooh, that one's gonna be rough. People paint like extra details and shit on this.
Also, it looks like there's 4 people watching, so
4 people. Say hi, everyone
yeah,
who's watching.
say hello and thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah. Welcome to my crappy YouTube channel with a couple hundred subscribers now, where I rant about things and review bad movies with friends. And I'm currently
You're
like,
close to Mr. Beast, Trev.
yeah, I'm getting close to Mr. Beast level, honestly. I think I'm gonna overtake his channel soon. At the rate that he's you're welcome. Yes. Your video did really well as my friend Ngad's. I will openly admit I did throw like $20 towards promoting a couple videos.
The Angels in the Outfield video was super fun to edit. I loved it. I loved the banter between you two though. Like it just the conversations just came so naturally.
Yeah.
And I loved hearing about, you know, Ryan's kids' reaction to the movie. It's always cool to see, you know, to kind of bestow those movies down to another generation of little humans.
The Phil humans. I like that you're just referring to his kids as little humans.
Well, that's exactly what they are. They're little humans. They're still learning how to be human. The brain doesn't officially complete development until late 20s, early 30s. So they're still absorbing their chaos gremlins.
Chaos gremlins.
But that's all children.
That is the one thing of being an uncle and not a mom and dad, is that we can spoil them, and then when they're being bad or whatever, we can just be like, yeah, we don't want to deal with
Go
you
to your
shit.
mom. Go to your dad. We're living that aunt and uncle life.
Yeah. Of that cat mom, cat dad life.
Yep.
JD Vance hates us.
Yeah.
I thought you gave me 2 toothpicks. I'm only seeing
I
1.
thought I gave you 2.
You did,
Oh
but
no,
I-
it's right there.
Where?
Behind that little napkin there.
Thank you.
The Funkle and Font. I assume that's the fun uncle and the fun aunt. I love that. I was thinking to myself, it's almost time for our cat's food. Their
They don't-
dinner.
They don't deserve dinner.
They don't deserve dinner. Yeah, we supplement their dry food with wet food, but I feel like if I open them the door, they're gonna just all hell's gonna break loose.
Yeah, right now they would. It's not doing too bad right now. Let's do let's kind of see I've got some of the detailing done. I think I might start working on the cape, which is supposed to be red.
He's saying camera bobbing.
Yeah, it's on this weird stand.
It's like we're agreeing with you. Yeah, it's on a weird stand right now. Normally Trev obviously has this camera, and I think I initially thought about getting a tripod, which probably that would have been more ideal. But I guess we're worried about like taking over some surface area, and with Trev's hip, you know, really just kind of wants to sit on a couch and be able to paint minis. So this is kind of like what we.
This was the compromise.
Yeah, this is kind of the compromise, and now that we know that, I mean, kind of works. I mean, it works for the most part. Yeah, it's a test, exactly. You know, we'll figure out something else because I think, yeah, honestly, these kind of things are pretty fun. So we just need to figure out
Yeah, no.
what the hell we're doing after
Fun
the
little
fix.
stream. Fun, relaxing stream of painting a miniature. I'll wait till I get to painting the face and just start cursing. Being like, I hate this.
Oh, wow, now we got 6 people
6 whole
watching.
people watching. Damn.
Hello, friends. If you're joining us and the camera is wobbly, as we explained, this is our first test run at a live stream that isn't on Trevor's computer.
Yes.
Because his leg is dumb right now. Well, his hip, he just had hip surgery, so just sitting on the couch phone today.
Cape's gonna be nice and almost blood red. And as I'd mentioned prior, anyone just joining, I'm not very good at painting. This is my first take into doing Warhammer minis, which is kind of a rough place to start. And I'm also a little bit high on painkillers because of hip surgery a couple days ago, so this should be very interesting in terms of how poorly I do with this admittedly very expensive miniature. It came with this guy, Calgar, and 2 of his guards for like $50, so... And I had to assemble everything. It was like it was a frickin' IKEA furniture. So, that's always interesting.
Oh,
I was told... What?
Oh, I was saying that Ryan said, my kids say, I hope you get better, so they like you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Which is really sweet. And then he said he fails at paint numbers. He never learned to count or read. Thanks, ECHS.
I would kind of agree with you. Good old...
Is he saying that about you?
No, probably both of us. We both went to the same high school, which... I went to community college first before going to what I say real college, and I was very thankful that community college prepared me for what high school did not. I remember my first day of college, them mentioning a syllabus, and people from other high schools knowing what that was, and me being like, what the hell's a syllabus? We didn't do this in high school.
He's like, which is everything.
Exactly. He knows the wonderment of Elwood High School. It might have gotten better since then, I don't know. And we had good teachers, but just overall, little small town high school.
He said, what is a silly bus?
A silly bus.
Oh, syllabus. Hey, you know what? You don't know what you don't know. I mean, if you don't learn it, it's, it is what it is.
I think a silly bus is that thing that Miss Frizzle uses.
Yes. I was also going to say that I do think that it's a lot more common of a problem in the U.S. than even just like Elwood.
Inside of his cave.
Hey, Sneed. It's like, hell yeah.
Like a
Hope you're
yellow.
doing well, Trev.
Thank you, Sneed. Good to see you as usual. How is Steely Dan doing? I think that's the name of your scorpion. If I remember correctly from Twitter.
I couldn't remember. He's doing very well. Just stays in his tunnel all day. Thank you for asking. I love it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan, that they were preparing everyone to work. I don't know. I was not prepared. I did 2 summers in Elsa, and I was definitely not prepared for factory work. I I think that's what Elwood wanted to try, but I am not built for factory work.
So how about you tell the audience kind of like what you're painting, because it seems like we got quite a few new folks joining.
So this, what I'm painting, I'll go ahead and hold up the box. He's a Lord Commander or something in the Ultramarines. His name is Marinus. I know him as Calgar. There, close to the screen. So I'm painting him right now for Warhammer 40k. I'm not very good at painting, and this is my first time painting Warhammer. I put these together yesterday. I decided to pick these up, one, because I played Space Marine 2 and just got really hyped for this. And two, I just wanted something to do while I'm kind of bedridden recovering. And I thought, what's a good thing to do? Well, I could learn how to assemble and paint Warhammer minis. I'm not very good at it, but you know what? It doesn't matter if I'm good at it or not. That's what Bob Ross always preached. It doesn't matter if you suck at painting. No one's gonna buy it anyways. That's what he said. I don't think that's one of his quotes. If you suck at painting, just mail a girl your ear, and everyone will think that you're really good at painting. I don't think that's how it works.
Are you saying you're Van Gogh?
No. Van Gogh was actually good. He was a good painter.
You know what, Trev?
He hung out with Doctor Who and Amy.
You're doing the best that you can.
That's the sad part.
You're good at other stuff.
But I'm good at other things. Alright, well, let's see. He's got
Ryan's like he's gonna be going places.
We're getting there on this. The hardest thing is gonna be his face, I get a feeling. His cape is supposed to be kind of a brown color. Or not the cape that I've already done, the kind of the tabard thing in front of him. His loincloth, I guess you could call it. And look, I've got some sort of brown. The best thing that Van Gogh ever did was be on a Doctor Who episode. Outside of that, you know, his paintings were okay. It was the Doctor Who episode that really blew him into fame.
Shut up.
Kind of like Alexander Hamilton's biggest, accomplishment was that musical that he produced.
Yes. And nothing else.
I don't think he was famous for doing anything else.
Just for that cool...
For a really good musical. I think Alexander Hamilton, from what I heard, also did some music for Pixar. I'm good at history. Nooks and crannies. I'm getting slowly better at this the more that I'm
Pardon
doing
me, I was
it.
clearing my throat.
Give me a couple years and I'll actually be able to make something that looks somewhat like it's supposed to. Looking at the box for reference. There's a lot of like white detail and stuff on here I'm supposed to do. Let me see what his belt buckle looks like. I guess that's really just kind of a gold color. I'll figure it out. I might make the skull red. That might look cool. let that dry a little bit. I need to go over one of them with white because I kind of messed up and one of them was supposed to be white and I painted it brown. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Alright, let me go ahead and detail this skull here with red. I think even though it's supposed to be white because it's a skull, I want to make it red. Make this little thing here red. It's because red's cooler. I have silver. Yeah, I have silver that I haven't used. I'm going to start detailing with some silver. Running out of spots on the palette.
I mean, there's plenty more palettes.
I know. When I get to where I'm painting his face, I might have to have you grab another palette for me. This as sharp tipped as possible. And then dip it in the silver just lightly.
Let's see, Ryan's like, what do you have planned for the next Retro Cheese review?
I don't currently have anything planned exactly. I think I might. There's a video that my friend John wants to do with me. I think it might have been heavyweights. I think we even mentioned maybe with you. I don't know, but
was it
I
heavyweights?
think it may have been heavyweights that he wanted to do. I think I mentioned something with you, another like sports movie, also, or like
Was it
Homeward
like the
Bound.
Sandlot or something?
I think John specifically said heavyweights. I'm not sure. I'm still focusing a little on recovery before I film anything. But, might have something soon coming up. Once I'm feeling a bit better. Painting his bullets and his gun silver. The bullets are looking nice.
What's up, Trev?
The silver paint looks nice for the bullets.
See, Ryan's like, if you do that D&D movie, you need to get a few of your friends and have each of them be a different class, and they all roll for initiative and take part of the review with you as the DM.
I would actually enjoy
That would actually be
That's a
great. Yeah, I
great
think I
idea.
remember you guys talking about that. Didn't
Yeah,
you
I
talk
think
about
so.
talk about one of the old Dungeons and
The
Dragons
old D&D movie. Is that the one with the Wayans brothers we were mentioning?
I think so. I think I vaguely remember you guys mentioning that.
I've also thought about
Yeah, he's-
covering, I can't remember the name of it, but the Tom Hanks one,
Oh yeah.
where he goes crazy playing D&D. Mazes and Monsters or something like that, I think it was called. And I've thought about actually doing, even though it's a little bit away from like what I normally do, kind of a history of Dungeons and Dragons mini-series or something, like doing a few episodes of Retro Cheese Review, just going through the history of Dungeons and Dragons, including that movie. People seem to like my D&D book review for the new books. And I've played a lot of D&D, and now know a lot of people newer to D&D that don't seem to know a lot about the history. and I think they'd be interested in it. Exactly. I mean, I've only got 200 something subscribers. I can go away from the model as much as I want of saying, oh, this is retro cheese review, but let's be honest, this isn't really retro or cheese. Although, Warhammer's been out for a long time, so I guess we could
since
argue.
the 80s. It's a retro game, but definitely not cheesy. Who cares though? If you hear some kitty screaming, the cats are finally at their wits' end. They're like, meow. It is almost time for their dinner.
That could be why they're scrumming.
They also just really don't like being separated from us. See? Oh, Chopper is pulling one of his. He's trying to pull one of his toys underneath the. Oh, what are you trying? I'm currently filming our cat Chopper, desperately trying to get between the office and the living room. He's grabbing his toys in between. Ryan says the Ultramarines are the original Space Marines, so they're retro, right?
Yes. So close enough. When I told my friend John that I picked up the Ultramarines, he referred to it as the Blueberry Boy Scout Army.
Is that something they actually call them, or?
Like, apparently with the Warhammer community, yeah. Kind of doing some toothpick detailing in here.
It's like our military branches giving each other crap.
Well, John prefers orcs over everyone else. He's always been a big fan of the orcs. Which I get. The orcs are cool.
Hey, dude. Chopper. He's really, really, really trying to. I don't know what the hell he's trying to say. Orcs is the bestest. I agree, Ryan.
They do have Wa. They have Wa and Wa accessories. I went ahead and painted this silver instead of gold. But I think it'll still look pretty good, this silver over here.
Pretty sure you can make edits though.
Nah, I'm painting it this on purpose. Oh wait, that's its metal. And I'll paint that also. And then give it a little bit of I did right by the purity seal. There we go. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Now I think it's time to do his face, which is going to be interesting. And his hair. What color is his hair even? He is gray hair. He has gray hair.
Oh, he has gray. I was like, I was thinking some sort of like, um, some sort of auburn or whatever. So Ryan says, I watched a TTRPG that did an Oops All Orc series, and it was just chaotic and fun. You ever seen a purple orc? No, because duh, purple makes him stealth-like.
That sounds about right. I think my favorite recent story about the orcs is that they basically a space marine in lore ran out of bullets and started just yelling the word bang at them with his gun out, and they died because they believed they were getting shot.
So how fast does the paint even drying? It seems
It's
like
pretty quick.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it'll look okay. You go in with that gray that I've mixed for his hair.
It was a fort with a bunch of guardsmen. The orcs then came together and just chanted, I'm a tank, I'm a tank. So the guardsmen faked rockets.
That sounds about right. Toothpick detailing has been very good. So
I'm looking at it now and it's looking really good.
And a red dot.
So Ryan said the series I watched crashed on a planet that was based on the Sid Meier's game King's Quest.
Not actually played that game, but I'm a big Sid Meier's fan.
Honestly, the only franchise I'm familiar with Sid Meier's is Civilization, and the
That's
new
his
game
most
that's coming
popular.
out actually seems like it's going to be really cool.
And then his eye will just be like normal, like white and black. I'll just give him a black dot for his eye.
Boop.
A little bit of black here. Oh, it's the same as the gray. Give me a little dot where his eye is. If I can get it enough black on the brush to do that. Good enough. Not perfect, but good enough. Not really sure what his backpack's supposed to look like on the back. Doesn't really show. I guess it's more like gold than anything, or metal. But,
If you don't know what you are doing and can predict the moon logic they use, it can take about 90 minutes to beat most of them with 100%.
I think I'm gonna give some silver to the back here with this like jump pack. Although I think it's blue on top. Yeah, it's showing it's like blue.
Yep. Ryan said very nice.
Do a little bit of silver detailing though. And there's a skull here on his shoulder. Let me give that silver. Silver detailing again. Let's see what his fists look like. Not a ton of details. That's the little like bumps here of silver. Skull like the brass knuckle type thing. A little more white here. Like that detail. Actually, not too bad for a first try. I think I'm pretty well done with it.
Looking good.
All right, what do you think, chat? Zoom in on it.
Maybe put your hand behind it so it kind of like focuses just on
Okay. Well, I think I'm done with my first mini. We've been at it for about an hour and a half. thank you all for joining. Felicia, do you want to go ahead and come over here and push stop on it?
Yep.
I'll clean up and I'll paint the other ones on my own a little later.
I'm trying to get this thing. I think we need like a remote or something.
Yeah. There
Where's
should
the
be an X
stop?
there.
Where? Here we go. Boop.
X. Are you sure you want to stop? Yes. There we go.